Here it is. So I want to talk a little bit about the outside. You'll notice the roof line. What we were doing to reduce the cost, we're looking for roof designs that are a 412 or a 612 pitch, and those lower the cost of roofing. The other things that we do, I'm looking at color palettes. This is from my design background. This is actually Sherwin-Williams color of the year. This green is called Evergreen Fog. They have a color palette all around it. You'll notice the black and the white. That black that I can remember, the paint color is iron ore. But we're trying to create those contrasts. Little things that we do to add value. Look at those shutters. For $70, it gives it good curb appeal. And then I added a little bit of touches of black with the white and the green, a black roof. And those are some of the things that I'm doing, and just that curb appeal that gives it that extra desire even from your renters. They want it. The other things you'll notice, what I did when I picked this property is I was looking for the builds around it. And you can see some of these other builds around it. These are have great reputations, these builders, and these are all more custom builds, and these are all homeowners beside my property. So let's go in and take the tour. You can see from the roof line here, as before we go in, I take advantage of this roof line through the main center of the house. I'm doing vaulted ceilings to give it a more volume and a larger feel. I'm using that. And then it's a split bedroom design where the master's on one side, the other two bedrooms are on the other with that bathroom. But in the middle is where the main living area space is. Okay, let's walk in and see. I want to show what we've done. So as you come in, you'll notice the vaulted ceilings. We use that roof line. The vaulted ceiling gives it a much larger feel, more airy. People notice these things. Some of the value engineering we did here in the living room. So I did add this contemporary fireplace. Even here in Texas, whether we need them or not, people like a fireplace. So we did this electric fireplace. It does push out heat. You'll notice here the shiplap. We are the home of Chip and Joanne Gaines. They live in Waco, which is about an hour away. So shiplap is very popular here. As I'm going into the kitchen, once again, you'll see the stained beam across. As we're going into the kitchen, you'll notice the island. So I painted it a separate color, matched to the exterior. This Evergreen Fog is the name of the color. And the overlap both on this side here and then on this side right here to be used for their kitchen table. This is more of it has some speckle if you can see it a little bit. It's a quartz. Notice the brushed gold. The trend here right now, oil rub bronze is on the way out. This brushed gold in the last 3 or 4 years is where people are heading with any modern build. See the fridge. Here in this community, you've got to know your market well. I know the rental market, and I've watched over the last year the properties that rent the quickest, on average, 33 days faster are the ones with a fridge versus the ones without. So for that $1,100, with what I'm getting in rent, it pays for itself and some. So looking at the kitchen, you'll see the backsplash. Many of the builder grade, the basic rentals, they're just using a trim piece. I'm doing the tile work that actually matches the color of the island and the house. These open shelves, I purchased those from Urbandi is the name of the website. And they have a lot of decorative wood. These are 4 inches thick. Even have some distressed look to it, and came already pre-stained, and we matched it to our beadboard trade ceiling. I've had several people talk about this, and they love it. It gives it a more custom look to this kitchen. You'll notice the undermount lighting. I do that. It's very small cost, but I'm adding that undermount lighting. And here we go. Even with this, these are soft close. These cabinets, all the cabinets for this entire property that you'll walk through, you'll see throughout the property, a total of $7,000. These are put together cabinets, but the quality is very high. So let's walk through. We've split the bedrooms, so you have a master on one side of the house and the 2 other bedrooms on the other. Notice here, you've got another furniture style vanity. You've got a framed mirror. These lights, these are not lights you would buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. These are builder level, well, not builder grade, but a little bit nicer than builder grade from a custom build website that still are very inexpensive. Notice the tile backsplash, even with this decorative niche. These faucets for the shower, we did end up buying them from a plumbing supply versus Lowe's or Home Depot. The inner parts are not all plastic. They last longer. We've noticed that too. We don't have as many issues over the years, and they just look very nice. So heading into the hallway here, I'll show where the washer dryer is. We did end up putting some cabinets in here and a hanging bar and some more storage. The front room, walking in here, you'll see this is a larger closet than normal. It's got lots of cubbies, and you'll notice the double hanging racks with the shelves on top of them for more storage. We do put a lot of built-in cubbies. The renters like this too. I want them to have plenty of space for storage. If they've got more stuff, they move less, and that's what I've noticed. So I'm giving them plenty of space to put their stuff. Walking into the master, a trade ceiling in this master, but what you'll notice, one of the things that I looked at when I built this, and these are all custom designs that I draw out, I made sure the windows were far enough away so that you could have 2 orientations for a king-size bed. You could do one between these 2 windows, or you could orient it this way. So you have 2 different orientations in this master bedroom. Looking at the barn door, I will say the barn doors are starting to be out, but I still matched it with the brushed gold fixtures, and did some custom painting with the paint that matches for this barn door. Walking into the master bathroom, they have a bench with cubbies below and cubbies above with that shiplap. Here, a double sink vanity furniture style. I ran the numbers using the cabinets, having to pay for a countertop and the sinks going this direction actually ended up saving us $175 because you can buy these furniture style vanities at Lowe's or Home Depot, and they come with the countertop and the sink's already a part of it. It ended up saving us $175, but has a much more upgraded look with that furniture style. We did do the mirrors and the sconces that really give it that sharp look. Walking into the shower, you'll see it's a custom tiled shower with 3 different types of tile. You've got the niche, you've got the waterfall look, a black floor, and a bench. These renters, as they look at it, the renter that I showed, she noticed all these features and the frameless glass. I ended up in getting that renter. She just loved everything. Actually walked through the house 3 different times looking at all the custom features built. I also put cubbies and built-in shelving on both sides of this master closet. But there you go. That's the tour. I'll walk to the back and you can see the backyard. We did put in a pad for them to put maybe a grill or some furniture. So we poured even that on the back, put the fencing in. We ended up with the neighbor builder, we ended up picking up his fence guy, charging $19 a linear foot, pre-stained pickets. You can see all this. What we've been noticing, our cost before this guy, we were paying $24 to $26 a linear foot. Got him for $19. But that's the tour of the inside of the house. I'm going to walk you through to the garage. I made the garage a feature. This is a 1-car garage, but I did something in this property. Sorry, it still needs to be cleaned out, but what I want to show you with the light. So I built in this workbench with a shelf above. You've got 2 plugs here, 1 plug below. And this is 7 foot long. I left space of a total of 4 feet for a tool chest or to put a second fridge. So making this little change here, because this is a working class neighborhood, but a lot of people like these benches for different things to work in the garage. And then also put in a 240 plug. Dual purpose. Lots of the working class and others love to have a 240 plug. And also with, it's a dual purpose for possible EVs. Looking at the trends right now, EVs, they expect another 1.5 million more sales of electric vehicles. I wanted to give that group an option too. We've picked up a couple of renters that have EVs, and now with the 240 plug, they're able to have level 2 charging. And we picked up 2 renters on a different build just because we already had that built in. So that's the walkthrough of the property. Lots of value engineering that we've done that pick up those renters. We've been able to get, usually on average, $75 to $100 more on our rentals just because of all the little things. And what I always say is, the little things speak, and good people notice it. So we looked both exterior and interior into this build, designing the floor plan so that it would flow well. I made this exact same floor plan a year ago and did a few tweaks to it. So we widened the living space area by another 9 inches that didn't affect a lot of things. So we made it feel larger. From the exterior, we picked those paint colors that look very well, from that green to the white and the black, putting on the shutters that gives it good curb appeal. As you walk in, you've got the vaulted ceiling, the electric fireplace that does push heat, with the shiplap that is still very popular in our area, with the island being a separate paint color, the quartz countertops, lighter color. You've got the tiled backsplash with the undermount lights, the niche spice rack, the bedrooms on both sides, so it's a split bedroom concept. The bedrooms are well proportioned. They are 12 by 14 in both bedroom size. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it's 12 by 13s in both bedrooms. The second and third bedroom, you've got the furniture style vanities, the framed mirrors. You've got the master bathroom with the bench, the shiplap, the nice mirrors, the custom designed tiled shower with frameless glass. All the closets have plenty of storage spaces. The kitchen with the trade ceiling with the stained beadboard, the lighting, all of these things are the value engineering. And I want to share what we built this for. So when it's all said and done, including the closing cost for the construction, the interest carry through the construction, we finished up at just a few pennies under $120 a square foot under roof. Not heated and cooled, but all of that under roof, both the porches and the garage included. We were $119 and some change was the total build price, everything included, and it appraised, you may ask, we finished up the build at $208,000. It appraised for $270,000. What is that? $62,000 in build equity. That's where we started, plus it's a rental, and we get the cash flow after that. But wanted to share, even down to the garage. We made the garage a feature with the workbench, the 240 plug, the space for a second refrigerator or a tool chest. We made the garage just that little extra bump out space. We added that to this tweak to the design, that extra 3.5 feet. We made now the garage a feature. We looked at the neighborhood. It's a working class neighborhood. They love that feature. I thought it was best to do something here back at the office and go over some of the numbers on the whiteboard. But one of the things I always talk about is I'm doing these builds, is doing some of the custom features, but the phrase that I use is little things speak. And I've had several tenants of all these builds recently. They notice, even the renters notice the little things, the little touches to all the build. They see that personal touch to it. As we go over the numbers, I want to talk about lot and lot development. And the reason this property did so well, I looked at the properties and I found this older subdivision that still had lots available. And this was outside of city limits, and that helped on cost. A lot of areas in the country, they'll have impact fees, and especially in all the cities, they'll have the impact fees, which have an impact on your build. So what I have in lot and lot development is, of course, the purchase of the lot. I do put the closing cost to the construction loan, the water and sewer tap-in fees. On this one, because we had retaining wall that was prepping the lot, I put the retaining wall in the lot development. Of course, we have no impact fees, but the clearing of the lot. And so we ended up costing right around 13.6% of our build. And I want to reference the under roof. We just recently had the final appraisal with, they got the exact under roof was 1,743 square feet. So that lot and lot development cost ended up being $16 a square foot. The build cost ended up being, of course, 86%. We can do that math. $103 a square foot on the actual build cost, for a final price of $119 and some change on that. So ways that I did to save money. No, I always have a contingency number in the build. The original build budget was $225,000. So I ended up being $17,000 under budget. Finished up at the 208. The original goal was hoping to be at 215, but we finished up at 208, even with all those custom features. So one of the things that I do is I set up a business account. We each picked Lowe's, Home Depot, maybe some other different companies having those business accounts, and that every time you spend $2,000, Lowe's shops it somehow, and we end up getting between, depending on the purchases, 14 to 16% discount off of retail, and that adds up several times. We usually do that 3 times throughout the build that I'll do that. The tile, where our tile came from for all the backsplash, the shower, the tub surround, it comes from Floor and Decor. The shelving that we did, that custom open shelving, came from Urbandi. The Lowe's business account, we save money. The build.com, that's where we do a lot of our light fixtures, the faucets, the door hardware, the cabinet hardware, all of those. Of course, big purchases, we do it, one of the times that we did it was all the appliances. We're doing all that. Same thing on the countertops. Our countertop budget ended up being right at $3,500. It was a white quartz with a little bit of gray veining for $3,500. Cabinets, I forgot to mention that. Cabinets, this includes all the cabinets in the kitchen, in the washer dryer area, the vanities in the bathrooms. We finished up at $7,300. All of those things. Final appraisal ended up being $270,000. That was build forced equity of $62,000 versus our build at $208. So it was 23% instant equity. And how this cash flows so well is my cost at $208. I could have only not put any money in it other than costs of closing to the 30-year permanent, but I tend to put a little bit in there, and this time I put, it ended up being around $15,000 of actual equity into it, pay down for the loan, and then the rest was closing costs. So I'm putting that in there, and I'm starting out at a good cash flow. We'll look at those numbers when we get to the leasing, and I'll go through those numbers in that final piece to this investment. But those are the numbers that we have on this project. You got to see the final finished product. Hopefully you enjoyed this series, learned a lot. I know I'm not an expert in learning all the terminology. I don't know it even myself. I learn off of every build, making them nice, the little things, the little custom touches. That's what attracts those tenants. They end up paying a little bit more, and it leases a little faster. Till next time.